Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, my name is SYAHREGINA ALYUVANY, and in this video I would like to explain to you all about multifunction word part 2. Well, without any further ado, let's check it out. Well, this chapter is the same as the previous chapter. What I mean is chapter 11. It deals with words that belong to a number of word classes, but in this case, there is a slight difference. All the word classes that they belong to are functional and closed in nature rather than open word classes such as pronoun, determiner, and prepositions, not to mention personal pronouns. Also included are adverbs and conjunctions, which are traditionally recognized as content or open word classes. A number of words in this chapter belong to the word class conjunction. Have you ever heard the word conjunction before? According to learngrammar.net, conjunctions are words that join two clauses together. Conjunctions make a link between or among words or groups of words to other parts of the sentence and show a relationship between or among them. There are three types of conjunction: coordinating conjunctions, subordinating conjunctions, and correlative conjunctions. But now, we're just focused on two types of conjunction: coordinating and subordinating conjunctions. First is coordinating conjunction. According to studyandexam.com, coordinating conjunction is to join two words, phrases, or independent clauses which are parallel in structure. There are 7 words which are by far the most common conjunctions: and, but, for, nor, or, so, and yet. It joins the following, such as word plus word, phrase plus phrase, also clause plus clause. For example, in the sentence, I like her and she likes me. The function of the word and here is to join two clauses. And the other example is, I waited for him but he didn't come. Second, subordinating conjunction. This conjunction joins a subordinate or dependent clause to a main or independent clause. Here are the most commonly words used in subordinating conjunctions, such as although, because, before, if, whether, after, how, then, when, until, and many more. It joins the following: main clause plus subordinate clause and subordinate clause plus main clause. For example, in the sentence, I like her because she likes me. And the other example is, although it is raining, it's too hot today. There are several words that kinds of multifunctional words too. Now we discuss about the first point in this chapter, 12.1, that. This word is a very common word in both writing and speaking. According to most frequency list, that is the 7th most frequency word in English. We use it as a determiner, a demonstrative pronoun, and a relative pronoun. We also use it as a conjunction to introduce that clauses. The word that can appear in several roles. First, it can appear in a number of word classes, such as first, demonstrative pronoun. According to EnglishQuantum.com, the word that here most commonly to point to a thing or person. We use it with singular nouns. The thing or person is often distant from the speaker and sometimes closer to the listener. For example, I like that, or that won't work. And the second is demonstrative determiner. This is different from demonstrative pronoun. According to eslbase.com, in this use that is part of a noun phrase. determiners introduce nouns rather than replace them. For example, I like that idea, or that idea won't work. This time, the noun stays in the sentence. We haven't replaced it. We've just introduced it with the word that. So, when we use these words as determiners, the person listening doesn't need to know which one noun we're referring to, because we tell them directly. The only purpose of the determiners is to show the location of the noun in relation to us. And the last is adverb. Here, that is a degree adverb or intensifier modifying another adjective or adverb. The word that here stated before an adjective or adverb. For example, I tell you it was that big. In this respect, it can be regarded as an informal equivalent of so. Now let's see the questions in Activity 12.1a. The direction. Identify on the lines below where that is a demonstrative pronoun, B demonstrative determiner, C degree adverb. The hint is work out the word class of the word following that. Now we go to the first number. The question is, I wasn't expecting you'd be that busy just now. The answer is C, degree adverb. The word that here is a degree adverb or intensifier. Why? Because degree adverb modifying another adjective or adverb. The word that here stated before an adjective or adverb. Now look at the word before the word that. It is busy. The word busy is a kind of an adjective that shows a person is having a great deal to do, and the position of the word is after the word that. So, the answer must be degree adverb. We go on to the next number. Question number 2. I shouldn't have laid that carpet last night. What about this one? The answer is B, demonstrative determiner. Why? Because in this use that is part of a noun phrase. Determiners introduce nouns rather than replace them, and the noun stays in the sentence. We haven't replaced it. We've just introduced it with the word that. The only purpose of the determiners is to show the location of the noun in relation to us. So, when we use these words as determiners, the person listening doesn't need to know which carpet we are referring to, because we tell them directly. So, the answer is demonstrative determiner. We come to the last number. Question number 3. In the past month in here, well, it's been like that every day. Okay? The answer of this question is A, demonstrative pronoun. The reason is, the word that in demonstrative pronoun most commonly to point to a thing or person. We use it with singular nouns. The thing or person is often distant from the speaker and sometimes closer to the listener. The word everyday here has the same meaning as singular noun. The thing is distant from the speaker and it appears after the word that. Of course, the answer must be demonstrative pronoun. Although the first two uses of that above are the most basic ones and are the first ones presented to learners, they are not the most common. By far the most common use of that is to introduce a wide range of clauses. First, relative clauses, or as a relative pronoun. Again, it is versatile in this role and can replace most other relative pronouns, whether as subject or object, whether human or non-human. The word that here can replace most common relative pronouns such as who, when, where, which, and etc. Look at the example below. She is a person that knows how to handle herself. It is kind of subject human. She is a person that we can trust. This one is object human. This was the argument that proved conclusive. This one is subject non-human. And the last is this was an argument that we couldn't refute. And this one is object non-human. When it represents the object, it can be omitted. For example, she's a person we can trust. There are some restrictions here on the use of that. It cannot occur in non-defining or sentential relative clauses. For example, I met my sister that had been waiting for me. And it should be who, not the word that. It can be I met my sister who had been waiting for me. That is more suitable. Another example is then she relaxed that made everyone happy. The word that here must be changed into the word which. Then she relaxed, which made everyone happy. That will be better. Next, nominal clauses as subject, object, and predicative. For example, for subject, that he is only 25 doesn't bother me. The example of object, everyone knows that we are broke. And the last is the example for predicative. The problem is that we cannot find anyone to replace her. That also appears in cases of extraposition, when a nominal clause or usually a subject but also an object, it's extraposed to the end of the sentence and replaced by it. For example, it is obvious that he was murdered. Next is complement clauses. Here, that and its accompanying clause completes the meaning of the adjective or noun preceding it. For example, I'm glad that you are friends again. Another example is there's a feeling that we should cancel the meeting. In a sense, the complement acts as the object of the adjective or noun. And the next is appositive clauses. Here, the clause introduced by that stands in a one-to-one relationship or apposition with the preceding noun phrase. And if either is omitted, the sentence still makes grammatical sense. For example, the idea that we should give up is ridiculous. It can be the idea is ridiculous or that we should give up is ridiculous. And the next is adverbial clauses of purpose, or answering the question why, when preceded by so. For example, we put it in writing so that there could be no argument later. In the last four cases, that is sometimes called a subordinator that can be deleted or except when it introduces a subject nominal clause. For example, everyone knows we are broke. Now we'll look at activity 12.1b. Direction. Identify the function of that on these concordance lines according to the use described above. Decide whether it A. is a relative pronoun, B. introduces a nominal clause, C. is a case of extraposition, D. introduces a complement clause, E. introduces an appositive clause, F. is a part of so that. The hint is test for relative pronoun that by replacing it with which or who. Now look at the first number. Question number 1. They are personally bearing all the cost of the ride so that all monies raised will benefit the fund. What is the answer? Of course, the answer is part of so that. How can we know that? Because the position of the word that here in the sentence is before the word so. So, of course, the answer must be part of so that. Let's check out number 2. Question number 2. Both will keep down our costs that are reflected in the price you pay for electricity. The answer is relative pronoun. Why? As we can see in this picture, the word that here is refers to the noun cost. The word cost here mentioned as an object. If we replace the word that here using the word which or kinds of a relative clause, then it will be suitable. So, the answer is a part of relative pronoun. Well, we go on to the last number, question number 3. On 28 May, we informed the company that inadvertently, we omitted the following paragraph from our report, blah blah blah. The answer is it introduces a nominal clause. The reason is the word that here introduced the object of the preceding verb. That's why the answer must be introduces a nominal clause. I think that's all about my presentation today. Hopefully, it will be useful for all of us. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.